China trade, Iran and Afghanistan taking center stage in talks between President Trump and the Australian Prime Minister. One America's Emerald Robinson has more from the White House.
That's right. President Trump and Prime Minister Morrison of Australia holding a joint press conference here at the White House following their bilateral meetings. Surprisingly, the president says there wasn't a lot of talk about Iran. We were expecting the two leaders to discuss largely Iran in that bilateral meeting as they headed into it. However, the president saying they talked about China, they talked about trade, and they also talked about Afghanistan and the potential withdrawal of U.S. troops from there. Now, I did ask President Trump about new sanctions that he put in place on Iran that were announced earlier today. Secretary Steve Mnuchin saying that this was the last available funds for the regime. I asked President Trump if we've exhausted sanctions on the regime and if they continue their malign activity, are there any other measures that can be taken outside of a military option? The president saying that he feels that sanctions are very effective and that this will help curb Iran's activity. He also said, however, he did not mince words in saying that the U.S. military is very strong and it would be in Iran's best interest not to provoke the U.S. any further. Now, in regards to China, of course, the Prime Minister of Australia having a very diplomatic response to questions about the ongoing trade war between China and the U.S. It's a very important trading partner with Australia. However, Prime Minister Morrison telling me that he thinks that each country should do what is best. He does recognize that China doesn't trade fairly and that he's hoping that the U.S. and China can come to an agreement because he does also feel that a really good deal between those two countries would be good for his citizens in Australia as well. Now, Morrison has been very tough on certain Chinese tech companies like Huawei and ZTE. He has been one of the more unwavering leaders in instituting a ban on those two countries. So a lot of trade talk, a lot of China, a little Iran, and some Afghanistan as well. Now, the two leaders will participate in a state dinner later this evening, hosted by the First Lady, Melania Trump. The president has some very complimentary words about the preparations she's done for that dinner. Back to you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.